Man. Oh, boy. Here we are.
I do not want any of these for the rest of the evening.
Or the rest of forever.
Or the rest of my life.
Wow.
Welcome to the channel, bringing a real-world perspective to the real-world whiskey consumer.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Erin.
And we are back with another double-blind head-to-head, which means we have no clue what is in either one of these glasses. But you do. And what you're going to see is you're going to see us smell it, taste it, give it a rating, then find out how much it costs and see if that changes our rating before we find out what we're drinking.
Yep.
We do it this way so you get the most honest opinions possible, removes all the hype, the bias, price tags, all that good stuff. And these have been drawn at random from our blind sample pool. So these are matchups of bourbons and ryes that could be almost anything. It could be available versus allocated, expensive versus inexpensive, or it could just be two products of similar pricing. And we want to see which one's the better buy. Can't wait to get into this.
Yep.
These are always a ton of fun. Let's go ahead and get glass one on the nose.
This smells like a classic bourbon smell, but there's something just ever so slightly sour.
Really?
Like ever so slightly sour.
Like a fruity sourness?
No, like you haven't showered in a little while. Sour.
So maybe barrel char?
Yeah, like a little tart, sour pungentness.
Okay. It's funny you should say tart and sour. To me, this is coming across very classic bourbon, but it also has a little bit of like a red berry type note, almost like a raspberry type of note.
Okay.
And in that cherry or caramel vanilla oak equation that is so typically bourbon, this smells like the vanilla is cranked up a little bit. Let's get this on the palate.
I'm getting cherry. It's almost like fake cherry.
Yep, and I'm getting sour. There is a 100% sour note
Interesting.
in there all the way through. Wow, that is fascinating.
Yeah. Okay.
Great commentary.
I don't know if I need a second sip. I have my thoughts on this one, but let's take a second sip.
Let's take a second sip. You have to acclimate to it. You cannot trust your first sip.
Yep.
Let's go in for a second one.
There's something like, you know how sometimes we say there's an aspartame taste? Like, this tastes like there is a fake sweetness, an artificial sweetness component in here somehow.
Yeah, I'm getting kind of a tart cherry. Not heavy tart, but it's leaning more sour tart.
Kind of needs some water.
Is that a thing? Is sour and tart the same thing at the same time? I don't know if that's a thing or not.
They are not mutually exclusive. Something can be tart and sour.
Okay, it's got a little tartness, a little sourness. Definitely cherry is the most forward dominant fruit on the palate. Vanilla, and then everything else is a distant afterthought between those two, just kind of hitting the highlights here on first impressions. I don't know that I really like that all that much. That little sour, it's almost like a grassy note or something in there.
No.
I'm not.
I mean, yes.
I'm not loving whatever
getting
it is.
grassiness, but I'm getting sourness.
Okay. Let's get into glass two on the nose and see how it compares.
I wonder if it's these glasses, because this has a little bit of a sour note too.
Oh, I'm not getting that at all.
It's darker. I automatically like this better on the nose.
Yeah.
But there is like a faint sourness too, and I don't know if that's just my nose today or what.
Well, maybe they're in here because they're comparable pours for some reason or another,
Maybe.
and they both have that attribute to them.
Yeah.
I'm getting vanilla on this as well, more of a vanilla forward pour also. I'm getting
Like a dark
oak.
vanilla.
Yeah, and I'm getting oak to balance it out. It's a little less fruity than glass one, but it has more of an oaky element, and the vanilla and the oak, the way they're playing together, smell really nice to me. I like this a lot. Definitely some amped up caramel in this as well. Let's get it on the palate.
This is very drying on the palate.
Whoa, that might be bordering on tannic. That is big time oak. And the way the oak is coming through, I don't know if it's age or not, but it's the way that the oak is coming across is very tannic.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's very drying. Like, I instantly tasted dry.
Yeah.
Like, the taste of dry was in my mouth.
Yeah, it's pretty nutty as well. Like, it's kind of coming across with like that little bit of that dry roasted peanut type of note on it.
Heavy emphasis on the dry roasted part.
Yes.
Less emphasis on the peanut part.
Let's get another sip just to verify.
Wow, this is very interesting.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, that time came through with some more dark fruit, like a blackberry type of note. Really dark fruit, but the prevalent thing in that glass is the oak. This is oak showcase right here.
I'm not sure I'm a fan of either of these.
Really? Okay. Well, we are talking to a camera and giving you our first impressions in real time. We are going to take some time with these, clear our palate, start with the second glass, go back to the first, see how they compare, see if anything changes for us. It usually does, or oftentimes does. So we'll be right back with our total thoughts. Just a minute. Well, I don't know how much things changed for you. They didn't change a ton for me, but I do have some things to unpack. Okay. So, but you go first.
They did not change at all for me.
You didn't want to retaste them.
I did retaste them. I did not.
I made her for y'all.
Want to.
Yeah.
If I had to pick one to drink, it would be glass 2. That being said,
Agreed.
I don't care for either of them, so I'm giving them both a thumbs down.
Whoa.
Like, I don't.
Hard pass.
I don't even want to even consider spending my money on them. They're both drying. Glass 2 is more drying than glass 1 for me. However, the darker flavor profile is a little bit more something that I enjoy drinking, so I would pick that. However, if I don't have to drink these, I won't.
Question for you, real quick, because regular viewers of the channel will know that in previous videos, you mentioned that you do like dry flavors, like dry wine, dry champagne.
There's a balance.
Okay, so it can go too far, and these have both gone too far for you.
Too much of a good thing is still too much.
Oh, okay. Little TED Talk here.
Yeah.
Didn't know you were coming to it. Okay. All right. So for me, everything kind of held true. Definitely cherry and oak on the first glass. A little bit of nuttiness. It got a little dry on the end for sure. And I think the way that the oak is coming across with that dry element is what's feeling a little sour in there.
Perhaps.
Second glass, same. Lots of oak. Blackberry, caramel. Whereas the first glass had a little bit more vanilla.
Yep.
But, I mean, these are both fruity, oaky, nutty, dry. I do like glass 2 significantly more than glass 1, personally speaking. Just because it doesn't have that little bit of that sour tinge. Yeah. The way the oak is coming across. But, I mean, they're both fine for me. I'm going to give glass 1 a just okay, though. Okay. Mainly because the sour element in comparison to glass 2. Yeah. This glass 2 for me, definitely going to give a thumbs up. I like glass 2 a lot. I'm not always for that dry roasted peanut flavor, but there's a lot of times where I really do like that. Glass 2 is very good. Cannot wait to find out what these are. We're going to have to, I mean, my mouth is still salivating.
I know,
from
I can
glass
hear it
2.
when you're talking.
I'm so sorry if you picked that up on the mic. The finish on glass 2 is better, by the way. Glass 2 is just a superior pour across the board if you're talking about a head-to-head comparison. Yeah. So in our pool, finding out price and see if that changes our ratings. Erin's thumbs down. No amount of money will sway her, but I'm just okay on glass 1. Thumbs up on glass 2. Let's find out what the price on glass 1 is.
$70.
I'll stay just okay on that. I'm not turning it down. There is a lot of stuff going on in there, and it does have a lot of flavor. It's just that the flavor it does have isn't my favorite flavor. Glass 2's price?
$150.
I mean, I can't say I'm surprised because it tastes like it has a lot of oak on it. And to get that much oak on it, you have to age things for a fair bit of time. And that costs money. Yeah. That's just a fact.
I get that.
I'll say thumbs up on it. It's very, it's very specific. Hear me loud and clear. Okay. Don't hear what I'm not saying. I'm not saying I'm excited to go out and pay $150 for this, but it is very specific in its old oak profile. That's fair, yeah. And I really like that. Now, if this is a fair statement. If this is a young bourbon, I'm going to be very embarrassed. But let's go ahead and find out.
I will agree, though, it tastes old.
And you have to pay
for
it.
Not dusty, but older.
There's a rule in Kentucky bourbon and pricing where pretty much everybody gets along with $10 per year of aging. So if this is a 15 or plus year product and it's $150, that math checks out. It tastes like a lot of 15-year plus bourbons that I've tried.
I don't think it is. Okay. But I don't know why I don't think it is. I just don't.
Okay. We're going to find out. Glass 1 first. Our least preferred port is
Baker's 7-year.
Wow. Why is that so sour?
I don't know.
I've definitely gotten a cherry note out of it, but I have not gotten that much sourness out of that bottle of Baker 7 before. Yeah. Maybe the bottle turned. I don't think it has because I had it like a week ago. Wow. Okay. 107 proof. What's glass 2?
Jim Beam, Hardin's Creek, Jacob's Well.
How old is it?
It doesn't say.
It's 15 years.
It just says 107 proof. These are both 107 proof.
Hardin's Creek, Jacob's Well is 15 years old.
Look at
That's
you.
what it was. And
Mr.
blackberries.
Whiskey Man, you should start a YouTube channel or
Good
something.
grief, get out of here. All right, this was fascinating because the reason I put this matchup in here, they're both 107 proof. They're both from the Jim Beam Distillery.
Okay.
That's Jim Beam Distillery. I almost said Jim Dean Distillery.
Something like I would say.
Yeah. They're both from, I almost did it again. They're both from the Jim Beam Distillery. Half the price on Baker 7. I wanted to see if Baker 7 would come across as a worthy challenger to some of these special releases that Jim Beam has been putting out.
Okay. Is Baker's 7 available? Like an available type of whiskey?
Reasonably so. I mean, it's a single barrel, so they're all going to differ. This one is 8 years and 8 months, I believe. This one didn't go into the pool too long ago, and we still have a lot of this bottle left. So I'm interested to compare what's in the sample jar to what's in the bottle.
Yeah.
But I don't remember it being quite so sour.
Yeah.
But it could just, you know, sometimes Jim Beam comes across to us awesome. Sometimes it comes across a little funky. And that's what we got today. Yep. But Hardin's Creek Jacob's Well from Jim Beam is a product that we do tend to like quite a lot. Again, it's very specific. It's a limited release product. Now they're on to the I think 16 or 17 year releases. They're releasing like 3 different 17 years to showcase different profiles.
Interesting.
So are they worth it? I don't know. I haven't tasted them. But if Hardin's Creek Jacob's Well is any indication, if you're interested in those products, I do not think you're going to be getting taken to the cleaners for buying one. I certainly wouldn't buy more than one bottle without finding out if I liked it or not. But big fan of Hardin's Creek Jacob's Well. Cool. Happy to have a bottle of it. Happy to be able to put it into these blind tastings. Yeah. I didn't love paying $150 for it, but I don't regret paying $150 for it either, if that tells you anything.
I feel like that speaks something to someone somewhere.
Yeah. And if this video spoke to you, go ahead and like it. Subscribe to the channel if you like blind tastings, because that's what we do over here. Yep. And if you want to join us for a live stream, we do those once a month. And if you hit that bell down there, it will let you know when we're going live.
Absolutely. That's it for today. Be good to each other. And until next time, cheers.
Cheers.